Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Words. If you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, I think we're also on LinkedIn, you can join us here on Zoom. In the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see the number 279-995-364. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Like I said, streaming live on Facebook, on our New Eurekan Poets Cafe page, and on YouTube. Look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe. We got a YouTube page. A lot of the videos we've done are up there, so make sure you go check it out. Thank you to the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for funding our free online events. You too can support us with a tax-deductible donation at neweurekan.org/contribute or on Cash App to New Eurekan Poets Cafe. This Thursday is New Year's Eve, and we're going to be here with you from 11 p.m. Eastern to a little bit after 1 a.m. Eastern. That means those of you in the Central Time Zone, we're going to party with you too. We're going to bring in the New Year's with you. La Bruja and myself are going to be hosting an online open mic. Now, La Bruja normally hosts on Thursdays. She spoke to the powers that be, asked me to come along for the ride. I'm very thankful for it, so I'm going to be celebrating the New Year with you. On Thursday, all performance styles are welcome: poetry, singing, comedy, whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to dance on Zoom, you can. We're doing 2-minute performance slots because we want to get as many people on as possible. So just for New Year's on this Thursday, we're doing 2-minute performance slots. When you sign up for the open mic, you are not going to know the order. 35 people are going to sign up, and then me or La Bruja are going to pick your name out of a hat or a jar. We'll do something festive, but it's going to be totally random. So you are either going to be one of the people that's closing out the new year with us, or you're going to be one of the people bringing in the new year with us. So, and all of this is going to be filmed. So we're breaking ground here, making history. And me and La Bruja will be performing. I'm excited about that. So, real quick, some guidelines, some rules. The performing poets must have their cameras on. We want to see your face. This is like an open mic, so have your cameras on. Poets have 4 minutes to either perform or to read their poems. We want to get to as many people as possible. We do have a waiting list. Number 3, we keep getting asked this: no censorship. If you feeling naughty, do your thing. If you got some curse words, let it out, okay? We're adults here. And it's the internet. Number 4, unmute yourself after the poem and make noise for the poet. After the poet performs, I'm going to ask to unmute everyone. Click yes, you want to unmute yourself, and be obnoxiously loud like we are at the cafe. All right, we treat poetry like it is a full contact sport. Make some noise. And number 5, stick to the theme, but you don't have to. Sometimes you may be feeling the theme, sometimes you're not. It is all good. So, oh yes, let us start the open mic, right? I've spoken enough. I know that y'all love me, but y'all have not come here to listen to me. You've come here to hear the poems. Also, if you were here with us on Zoom and you were signed up on the open mic, make sure that you open the chat, because that's where I'm going to be putting the open mic list. First up is, oh man, either I smoked the wrong stuff tonight, and I'm tripping, or Nick Paleologos has a really crazy background. He is our first performer for the night. Nick, how are you this evening?
I'm doing very well, Advocate. I know you're not tripping. This background is from when I was at the Starland Ballroom in Sayreville, New Jersey in 2018, when I saw All That Remains live and everything. They were great live, and this venue is one of my favorite venues I like going to for shows. And I miss shows so much. I miss them so much.
I hear you. All right, brother, let's get into it. Let's hear the poetry.
Let's do it. So this one's a bit different for me from my normal stuff. This one's called You Better Listen to This. 2020 was the following playlist. 1, The World Is Yours by Nas. 2, Love Like Winter by AFI. 3, Level of Concern, 21 Pilots. 4, Miracle by Churches. 5, Killing in the Name of, Rage Against the Machine. 6, Nazi Punks, Fuck Off. by Dead Kennedys. 7, excuse me. So Far Away by Avenged Sevenfold. 8, The Face Beneath by the Angry Pirates. 9, All I Want, A Day to Remember. 10, Come As You Are, Nirvana. 11, 45, A Matter of Time, Sum 41. And 12, Memories by We Came as Romans. I could say so many things about 2020, but this time I'll let the music I listen to speak for me. That's it.
Unmute yourselves and give some noise to. Ooh, something just got changed here. Sorry. To make some noise for Nick Paleologos.
Yes, Nick. Nice list, man.
Always sign the music, man. Love it.
It looked like Sam Park appreciated that, and she is our resident Spotify DJ. So if she's impressed, then you did good, Mr. Nick Paleologos. Sir, where can we find you online?
You could find me on Instagram, The Real Nick P. That's TheRealNickP. Thank you, Advocate. Thank you, Nuyo. And everyone, hope your holidays have been great and hope that the new year gets rung in properly if I'm not there. Thank you, everyone.
Nick Paleologos. Nick, make sure you put the information into the chat as well. All right, next up is Lynn Lane. Lynn Lane, for a long time, Lynn just came and listened to us, and I was like, nah, man, I gotta speak. I got some things I want to say. Lynn, how are you this evening?
Good, my man, good. So this is new shit because it's on theme, so we're gonna work with that. But this is different for me. So this is a Senryu poem made up of a bunch of Senryus. So we'll see how it goes. All right. 2020 was 8 minutes and 46 seconds. I can't breathe. 2020 was when the world finally said that Black Lives Matter. 2020 was when rage found home on the streets to fight injustice. 2020 was another year of children locked in cages. 2020 was a designer green jacket that said, I don't care. 2020 was when Indigenous people were ignored again. 2020 was when their vote did not matter because of their home. 2020 was all about community, only now on Zoom. 2020 was when the arts hibernated, but rent was still due. 2020 was a year without taste or smell, and restaurants closed. 2020 was a timely packaged joke called a stimulus check. 2020 was when we lost so many friends. When will this end? 2020 was an orange spray tan disease. Thank God it's over.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Lynn Lane.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Nice.
Bravo.
Love it, love it. Oh, wait, I just lost Lynn. There he is. Let me unmute Lynn.
Unmuted.
There we go. Lynn, real quick, let the people know what's the difference between the Senryu and the haiku.
So haiku is more about nature, whereas Senryu is more about people. Senryus typically have more of a humorous, dark tint to them, whereas a haiku typically is more serious. Both are the same 5-7-5 structure. So, yeah, there's the rough.
Love it, nerdgasm. So when I heard you say Senryu, I was like, no, I'm gonna make him say it. All right, where can we find you online, brother?
So I just made a new IG page for my poetry and drawing. So it's pretty thin right now, but that's Lynn Lane Arts. My photography is Lynn Lane Photography on IG. And then my performance-based work for my collective is transitory_sound_and_movement. And then on Facebook, you should friend me because I'm a nice guy, and it's Lynn Lane on Facebook. So I'll put it in the chat. Thanks everyone for putting up with my first Senryu poem. So
it was awesome, and we got the lesson. Appreciate you, brother. Lynn Lane, make sure you go check him out. He is a really good dude, and his photography is awesome. So Lynn, make sure you put all that information in the Zoom chat. Next coming up is DG Clearing. Always, this brother always dressed well.
Hello, advocate of words and all the pandemic poets and everybody watching and listening tonight. It is so good to be here. I feel so honored that I have been able to read through this last year in the pandemic. Thank you. The year is at an end, and at this time, it's a time of reflection of what is for the last year. This is what is, or what was. What was. Today, we must reflect on what was. People have passed. Places that we have are gone. Thoughts to be remembered. Ideas that we have learned. Old and new friends. What was should not be forgotten. The glaciers have melted. That this is the 6th great extinction. The oceans have begun to flood the plains. Fires have scorched the earth. Droughts have evaporated the rivers and streams. Dig into the past for what was, even the pain and hurt. How the pandemic changed our lives, that my work will never come back. The home that I grew up in is gone. My only source of nourishment is the food pantry. My wife, my best friend, and my brother have died. Was that all that was to be remembered? What about the killings, the murders of innocent people? What about the protest for the murderers of the innocent people? What about the police killing innocent people? What about the monuments being toppled? What about the cost of so many lives? Extract what was, so not to be lost. The courage of the essential and healthcare workers, the martyrs for change. Say their names: Floyd, Taylor, Prude, Brooks, and many more. The fight for equality and justice. The heroism of those who risk their lives every day so that we may have a better life. Today, we must reflect on what was. What was should not be forgotten. Dig into your past. Remember even the pain and hurt. Extract what was so not to be lost, so we may have a better life. Remember what was.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for DG Clearing. Make some noise for him.
Yeah,
Nice.
DG.
Loved it.
Very nice, DG.
Happy New Year's,
Nice,
everybody.
man. Nice.
I know I say it every week, but I appreciate the most of those posts who allow themselves to be the most vulnerable. I appreciate you always giving of yourself, DG. Where can we
Thanks.
find you online?
You know, where you can find me online, the best place is at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Please go to neweurekan.org. Go to click donate anything you can, any amount. Make sure the words keep flowing in 2021. Thank you, New Eurekan Poets Cafe, and everybody that's read this year. I appreciate it.
Thank you, DG.
Happy New Year.
DG Clearing, hope to see you on New Year's. If you're not doing something and partying with that smooth jacket, you know, we'll be here. So yes, this is our 38th Monday night online open mic. And I remember when we started, you know, every week, I wasn't even sure if we were going to do it the next week, especially like the first 3 or 4 weeks. I was like, we're doing it again. You know, I'm down. I want to do it again. New York was like, yeah, we'll do it again. So I appreciate it, man. We have 38 and we're going into 2021 doing this. This is awesome. Love it. Next coming up is Jody Ortega, who I think got better internet because we see her. I meant to say that last week because like we see her clearer now. We hear her clear. Jody, how are you?
How's it going?
It's good. It's good. Back-to-back weeks. You're coming back. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
I'm good. I've got some holidays right now, so
Awesome.
it works out with the time difference and everything too.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Floor is yours. Go ahead.
Cool. So I took the theme and I turned it into a letter for my son. I'ma love you forever, like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby, you'll be. I'ma love you forever, like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby, you'll be. I'ma love you forever, and I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby, you'll be. Dear son, welcome to life. Unpredictable at best, parental discretion is strongly advised. You should know this up front. There'll be bumps ahead, but remember this. We are a symphony of people and dreams. We can be a harmony of sounds as long as everyone plays their part. When we put in the work to heal individually, we can heal collectively. Perhaps the human race is another word for the collective alchemy. Son, so many of us are dying for healing. So many of us are dying for community. Can you be the bridge and the divide? You see, on the other side of pain, we find love. We find peace because we did the work. Healing is not easy. Real healing is shitty and ugly and messy, but it'll be the best thing you ever do for yourself and for humanity. I know this because it is the best thing I've done for myself. Son, on the other side of pain, I found you. And although raising you has been my greatest duty, you are my master teacher. Love, Mom.
Give it up for Jody Ortega. Unmute yourself.
Nice, nice. I love how you swung that right there. Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Jody Ortega. I have to find out if she taking adoption papers, man. That's it, man. I'm about to get adopted right now. Wait, I'm trying to unmute you, Jody, so we can hear you and let the people know where they can find you online.
Yeah, I am on Instagram at Don't Run Baby Girl, so I'll type that in the chat too. Advocate, can I say something really quick for a minute?
Go ahead.
Not trying to take your job. So I'm based out of Vancouver, Canada, and I recently sent a postcard to the New Yorker, and I put in a couple of lines from Miguel Algarin's poem, Not Tonight, But Tomorrow. And I think it'll be cool if you're not based in New York, perhaps you could send the New Yorker a postcard just so they can see how far their reach has been in this year.
Oh, I like that idea. I like that
Yeah.
idea. See, I so want to get adopted by you. You're doing so. I love it, love it, love it. Jody, thank you. Thank you for the poetry.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for the idea. And make sure you put all
Yeah.
that information into the chat.
For sure.
Okay?
I will.
Thank you. Jody Ortega. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I love the energy that y'all give here. Y'all make my job so much easier. Like, this is my job. That's crazy, right? All right. Michael Sindler, where are you? Let's go. Here we go. Let me Michael, so we can hear him.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm just looking around. I'm noticing, a lot of new people back, and that's really great to see, that we've just keep picking up more and more new people to the family. I'm going to start with this one, which is, I think, on theme. It's a haiku sonnet, though Lynn Lane may disagree on that. We'll have a fight. It's called Captive Audience. Winter finds winter, seasons pass outside window, each eating its tail. White turns into green, green into red and orange, circling back to white. World beyond glass panes, theatrical sensation. captive audience, comfortable witnessing from inside until the threat of pestilence subsides. So that is kind of where we are. And I'm just going to do this one. Some people have heard it because they go to a lot of open mics. It's called Flying. He decided to learn to fly. He didn't want to learn how to pilot an airplane or a helicopter. He wanted to fly. He wasn't big on taking unnecessary risks, so he decided not to do anything stupid like throwing himself off a cliff. He would start slow and build up to it. He picked a spot and named it his launch pad. He swept it until it was a clean and tidy piece of earth with no pebbles or twigs to stick in his feet. He put on his lightest silk pajamas and called them his flight suit. Standing in the center of his launch pad, he took several deep breaths, and then he jumped. He jumped straight up and then came down in the same spot. He had only jumped a couple of inches, but he left the ground. He took a few more deep breaths and then jumped again. He repeated the procedure once again. After 3 jumps, he was happy with his efforts. After he went about the rest of his daily routine, feeling better for having left the Earth's surface 3 times. The next day, he swept his launch pad clean and jumped 3 more times. The next day, he did the same. Day after day, he would jump 3 times, then carry on with whatever jobs and chores the day had in store for him. This went on for months. At one point, the launch pad had been jumped on so many times it had become a hole. He filled the hole with fresh dirt, tamped it down, and then did his daily jumps. Not a day went by when he did not jump, no matter the weather or his health or how busy he was with obligations. Each day, he would put on his flight suit, go to the launch pad, and jump. Some in town laughed, some thought it was charming, and some wished him well when they saw him, offering their hopes that he would eventually fly. He didn't distinguish between these camps. After his daily jumps, he met all with a kind smile as he went about his daily chores. After the first year, some were inspired by his consistency and attitude and made their own launch pads. They too started to jump 3 times each day, each morning before starting their daily grind. Some soon stopped and some kept up the practice. After 2 years, there were dozens of people starting their day jumping 3 times in the air as high as they could. One day the man did not come into town. He did not come the next day either. The townspeople went to investigate. At his launch pad, they found his flight suit pajamas in a heap right at the very center. They looked all around, but the man was nowhere to be seen. Someone looked up and saw something in the air. Perhaps it was a large bird, and perhaps not. After that, everyone in the village jumped together every morning. After their jumping, they smiled ethereal smiles. They went about their day with a lightness in their step and a graceful air whenever they met one another. If one didn't know better, one might even think they were flying. Thank y'all. Have a great new year, everybody.
Yay, Michael. Man,
So
thank you
good,
so
Michael.
much.
Nice. Love that flying
Really
piece,
good.
man.
Fighting.
Nice.
Really good. I
Way
like
to
it.
end the year. Good job.
Thank you.
There's only one thing wrong with that poem. There is one thing wrong with that poem, is that it ended. I have so many questions. I love this story. I want to go to this place and see this town, everyone jumping up. And what's wrong with these? I love it. Michael, where can we find you online?
Oh, right here and on Thursdays and all over Zoom world. Just come to open mics and enjoy yourself, and I'll be there.
Thank you, Michael. Michael Sindler. I love that story. I have to keep an eye on him and Lynn Lane now. Make sure that there's no poetry fighting going on over here. Oh, they putting the Dukes up. Real quick, for those of you who are missing the 2 gentlemen putting their Dukes up, if you want to join us on Zoom, Let me put it on the screen real quick. We are doing this on Zoom. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I know we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. The bottom left-hand corner is the Zoom number 279-995-364. Once again, 279-995-364. You should also be able to find that on the New Rican Poets Cafe's social media page. Next, coming up is Catherine Sweeney. I saw Catherine. Here she is. Catherine is playing hooky. All right, last week. It's 2020. No more of the class jokes, except for tips. That's it. Playing the hooky. I'm glad. All right, floor is yours. Go ahead, Catherine.
Awesome. Thank you. I wrote this for the theme, but I'm not sure it's going to work. Can you guys all hear me? My internet's shitty here.
Yeah, we hear you. You're good.
Okay, good. Okay. This is called 2020 is an exercise in restraint. 2020 was an exercise in restraint, and we only half failed. You spent it learning the art of tying rope into complicated knots. Frog, crab, shrimp, hog. The last of the 9 ways to get sexy. We quickly understood the only thing needed is a single column virgin tie. And now I'm as fresh as a young boy on a carousel or an ostrich, and suddenly not just the tired old wife of a painter. When you begin, the ropes smell of raisins or mounds of discarded earth baking in the dead still heat of August. You gather all of my hair, pass it back and forth between your hands for grip, secure my knees at the cant, my body slick and supple from the cream spread across my skin to protect against the chafe. Start me slow, balanced on my side. The shine of oil drips from hip to the divot of lower back. You stand behind me. I'm ready. Take your thumb in my mouth. My tongue prints a map of your fingerprints for later. This is how we find our way back. You push into me. I wonder if it's tighter for you this way. I whimper. You reach deeper into the silence at the back of your chest. I'm there, buried inside your bones like a small pouch of sand for balance. And when you are spent, you pull a bulb from the earth. The filament stretches across my waist, loops twice, and dangles flush against my clit, a small bell banging out the rhythm of step. You ask me what I need you to do, how you can help. They harvested the calendula early this year and it's been drying on my windowsill. I consider a mortar and pestle, grind you into place, make you come again. The red tubes of light are bedded down in incandescent halos, house music turned down low, a rotating picture show of cream pies and cum shots, facials and monstrous orgasms on the floor of borrowed showers in houses we don't own but inhabit, the hours spent poring over our own disappearance, photos we once held, ownership we cannot explain, and even in our own bodies, and yet we claim them as home. Maybe we didn't fail. This body I relinquish to you in singular moments of pleasure, of giving, taking, head thrown back, your face, knowing you exist elsewhere, likewise, in parallel, hands steady. This year is somehow enough.
Mute
Oh, that
yourself and
definitely
give it up
worked.
for Catherine.
Great
Damn.
idea, Catherine.
Beautiful, Catherine.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that was good.
Veronica
Nice.
did
That was
right.
good.
Catherine Sweeney. Is that what marriage sex is all about? I need to get married. All right. I don't need to get adopted. I need to get married if that's what marriage sex is about. Wow. Okay. Catherine, where can we find you online?
At Kate Renault on Instagram. I'll put it in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm like snotty too, so I apologize for how slow that was.
No, it worked. It worked. It was like slow and purposeful and methodical. And I'm going out to go buy a few engagement rings because I don't know who I'm gonna propose to or what their ring size is. But that's
Yeah, I don't know if that's about marriage, but okay. You tell yourself what you need to tell yourself.
Thank you, Catherine. Catherine, sweet. I love having her on. And Catherine, make sure again put it into the your information into the chat. So Wow. Okay. Woosah, woosah. All right, everyone. Like a quick cold shower. There you go. All right. Next coming up is Miro. Where is Miro? There she is. A new New Yorker.
Hello, more like an old New Yorker new once again. Also, I feel like I need a cigarette and I don't even smoke. So I don't know what just happened, but it's not helping my situation. That's all I'm going to say.
Wait. Miro, you single, right? That's it. Is there anyone online ordained? We're getting married, and that's it. We're doing it. We got moved. And if it doesn't work out, we're gonna blame Catherine, all right? If it doesn't work out.
I'm down. Let's do it.
All right. Let's hear your poetry first.
Oh my
Go
God.
ahead, Miro.
Okay. So I'm definitely on theme. So this poem is just kind of like an exploration of the past year for me. It's been quite eventful, and it's untitled. So there we go. 2020 was a baptism of relief when the wheels touched down, a ripple of warmth that drove me into the arms of parents and friends, a supportive roof, good food, and space where I could finally exhale and slowly work my way back to me. 2020 was an unexpected pothole, the kind that tears through tires and sends you reeling across the asphalt. It was fear, disappointment, sleepless nights contemplating what if, a violent flip-flop between feeling hopeful, excited, and completely over it. Like, what even is the fucking point of anything anymore? 2020 was acceptance, a deep breath and downward dog and quiet introspection, moments spent in thought, examining the past few years, examining why, how, searching for truth in my reflection. 2020 was putting my foot down, calling out the fuckboys, and recognizing the moment old patterns sucked me back in. 2020 was a new set of used wheels, radio blasting, dates with the mechanic, and a brand new battery with 1 day to spare on the warranty. 2020 was working myself cross-eyed, strobe light headaches with increased screen time. It was putting pen to paper, realizing that the words floating in my head matter. It was consistent visits to the page, ideas in the shower in the middle of the night that would not wait till morning. It was community, consistency, routine, days bleeding by, ordinary, but with a certain kind of weight. 2020 was thinking I met the guy and promptly being plopped in the friend zone, which worked out in the end because 2020 was driving away from the West Virginia hollers back into the noise and grit of the big dirty apple. 2020 was a difficult choice stuck in my chest for weeks, a bold move behind the wheel through fog and wind and rain, en route to try again. 2020 was Shakespearean, a suffocating clusterfuck drowning us in stress and uncertainty, but 2020 was also an opportunity to reset, breathe, realize our impact, go inside ourselves and hug the child grown hoarse from crying out for our attention while we were busy, not living, but struggling, shoving each other down in what we thought was normality. 2020 was a smack in the face, like, look at yourself, check your choices. Yes, mourn what was, but do not hope to go back. And I speak on both a personal and global level when I say this, because 2020 was the year that stopped us in our tracks and forced a shift in consciousness towards compassion, kindness, and a better, more loving direction. Thank you.
Give it up.
Nice, Miro.
Yes, that was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Good
That
job.
Loved it. And on theme, beautiful. Wait. Okay, I was looking for Miro. People loved it. Miro, where can they find you online? And can you give an update on the book, if you can?
Yes. Okay, so I am on Instagram, Miro Reads Books, all one word. Looks like Mirror Reads Books, but it's Miro, it's me. For those of you who don't know, me and a few other brilliant minds at the Nuyorican worked together to collect submissions for an anthology that'll be dropping hopefully around Valentine's Day in February 2021. Entitled Love Letters to Gaia. So honoring nature, climate change, the environment, which is the branch we all are standing on and are currently sawing off. So I just thought it could use a little more attention. I received a rough draft of the cover last week. So shit's getting real is all I'm gonna say.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you, Miro. And make sure you also put that information into the Zoom, into the chat.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks to everybody who submitted, and Happy New Year, guys. Thank you so much.
That is Miro. And this is why we always talk about put your information into the chat. We tell everyone to take a look at all the information in the chat, because we have people who are like, yeah, coming to an open mic is cool and I want to be here every week, but there's more I want to do with my artwork, and then collectively getting together and doing it. So next coming up is Mary Blenderman. I think this is like Mary's 5th or 6th time in a row with us. She is becoming a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I'm happy about that. And I don't know what it is about your webcam, but I feel like it looks like you're in a Lifetime movie, and I'm not making fun of it. Like, it looks like you're glowing, you know, it has this like nice soft glow. Like, you are popping on screen tonight, Mary. How are you?
I'm good. I don't know why my webcam is doing that to me, but thank you.
No, it's looking good. It's looking good. Like I said, like I know people like to make fun of Lifetime movies, but they look good though. You know, like the cameras they use, the coloring. I edit film. Don't mind me. I'm gonna go on and on. I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead, Mary. It's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's see. This is new shit that I wrote for the prompt. So I guess I'll just get into it. And thanks everyone for coming, and happy end of the year. Oof, what a year. Yeah, and thanks for your attention. It was the year I got stuck on a stalled Amtrak for 14 hours in northern Ohio, and the February fields had the face of my mother's country telling me, come home. The year I became addicted to tearing my chest open in front of strangers. The first time I called it my honest poem. The year a shy and stubborn philodendron taught me that leaning towards love is not difficult, but opening up to it is. The year we got caught in a thunderstorm, marveling at the darkening sky until its violence surprised us, and we clung to each other, feeling our way home like kittens, because love means holding on when you cannot see the way forward. The year I undressed my fear and made a gift of my softness, which I had not done before, which did not feel like losing, which was gentle, enticing, unforgettable. The year I did not ask forgiveness or permission. The year we all got better at looking in each other's eyes because that was all we had. The year I learned and am learning to witness pain without trying to fix it. You cannot patch grief like a leak. Grief is a flood. The year we held each other's heads above water. The year we marched upstream to dam the river of injustice and light fires of fury and remembrance on its shores. The year we all thought again what the fox told the little prince. What is essential is invisible to the eyes, and wondered why it is so hard to see the people who make our lives possible. The year I fell in love the night before the apocalypse, as if my life were a fucking novel, but it isn't. It was just the year I got lucky. I did. I swear. I did.
Make some noise for Mary.
Wow, that was really, really thank you so much.
Okay, but powerful.
Peace.
Oh my God, thank you.
Good.
Loved it, Mary Blenderman. Oh, I loved it. Gave me goosebumps. I was like all in the trance, like, you know, like I said, the webcam, and you're in the right lighting. You have a really like nice face, like a very photogenic face and whatnot. And then your poem, and then you're reading it like you're confident with it. You're not rushing through it. Oh, I had a moment. Mary, where can the people find you online?
Just back here at the New Eurekan, or if you want to come hang out with the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective on the internet, that's pghpoetry.org, and I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you, Mary. Mary Blenderman, right? Like, if Mary's been here like 5 or 6 times, I can say she's like a mainstay here, right? And if not, she's just gonna have to keep coming back because you can't make me look wrong. She is a mainstay here. All right, next coming up is Complicated Passions. I'm glad this dude is coming back, man. I heard him on a Thursday night with La Bruja hosting, and I was like, why doesn't he come on Mondays? And now he's here on Mondays. Complicated Passions. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great, and even nervous at the same time. Every time I come on this show.
You get nervous, man. You come off real smooth. None of us know that. You come off real smooth. Like, I've done this life thing. I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
Well, I'm good, but I still be nervous though, you know, so that's good. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I missed the theme, whatever it was, but you know, I'll bless you with what I got. All right. I'm going to love you with all of my senses, not just the 5 dimension, my 360 coming in dimensions, encompassing this reality. If I were making love, I would inhale the scent of you like the sheets do. Take your breath away like a silent movie to be deeper into you. You sing it to me and I come alive. The fire in your body engulfs the deeper of my soul and I feel you like music. Even though you're only next to me because the place cards placed us here, your perfume has got the best of me. Looking across the table, my mind is stuck on just how amazing you look tonight. Pretending to engage in the conversation, but thinking, I'm glad they can't hear the secret language we're speaking. I laugh, you smile, you laugh. I'm flying, you don't have to catch the bouquet. This might be the bride's day. Somehow, it's still all about you. I've had good things come to me, sipped on both pleasures and pain. Baby, I've enjoyed your company. This might sound a little insane, but would you be my next best thing? You see, I've had hints of you. Can't hide the beauty behind the tints of you. Glare, bright like sunshine, making me feel like I hit a gold mine. Jackpot, you are more than worthy of my best shot. Wishing you, missing you, switching you. Like a Kevin Durant jump shot, all net, sweet like candy, tasty as it can get. Makes my mouth wet, hot like July, and it ain't even summer yet. You see, I just need a little bit. You don't know me yet, but it's about to get real. I need a love that's deep. You might even have to be a complicated freak. You see, I'm looking for those moments you never knew exist. Tempt me to dare. I want a woman who can take me there. Yes, I'm looking for that love sign that says, be aware there's danger up in here. High passion content. Oh, it's about to get wet. Can't wait till we get home. I need your loving and we're alone. So tell me, can we get real and not pretend so that we can get it in just a little bit? Complicated Passions.
Yeah. Unmute yourself. Give this man some
How you doing?
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Complicated Passions. The people like him. He's a favorite. You got to keep coming back now, man. Where can we find you online?
Starting next year, every Monday on the Norican Poets Cafe live. You can hear me live. I got so much more to share. And you can find me at dark_man_blues on IG, Samuel Rain on Facebook. And if you want to Google me or even watch some of my videos, you could do Complicated Passions or Samuel Rain or my whole name, Samuel Rain Benjamin. You can see all the videos that I've done, even the one at the Norican Poets Cafe.
Yes, I know you did one when you were in the cafe. Appreciate you. Complicated. Make sure that you put all that information into the chat so that the people can copy and paste. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Peace.
Complicated Passion. And he's got like that really nice background too. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right. Next coming up is Paul Skiff. Where is Paul? We're going to the skip verse. Wait, I don't see Paul. And I don't see everyone saying pointings. Oh, I see him. It's because he has a different background. That's why. I did not see that background. There we go.
Hey.
Paul, I got scared for a second. I was like, wait, Paul's always on, man. What happened? I'm glad you're here. Your background threw me off. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad. Just want to say thank you, everybody, for getting here again tonight. I look forward to another year hanging out with all of you folks, and who we don't even know has not even turned up yet. So this place is a magnet for, poets who are, very forward looking and totally focused on making the community strong. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year. And I wanted to say, Mr. Advocate, I liked your intro with this kind of advisory about a poetry reading, because, over the past few months, I've been hearing this phrase, trigger warning, trigger warning. And to my mind, and it's, I've been around poetry readings like a lot of people here for years. Just the two words, poetry reading, that's like an all-encompassing trigger warning. If you're coming to a poetry reading and you got certain sensitivities and stuff, maybe you shouldn't. I'm sorry. Especially at the New Yearicans, because I always say, if you can't say it at the New Yearicans, where the hell can you say it, right?
Yes, and we ask our artists to be vulnerable and open, and sometimes they're going to talk about things that people aren't going to want to hear or from certain angles, and freedom of speech. Not everyone's comfortable with it, but every time I hear censorship now, I think of you, Paul. I know it's like trigger warning. This is poetry. What are you?
Yeah, come on.
Where
I grew up, especially at places I grew up doing readings, you were going to get stuff in your face all the time, no matter what. I mean, for me, anyway, that was part of the fun. You never knew what was going to happen. Somebody would be proposing marriage, or somebody would be picking up a I-beam off the ceiling and trying to hit you with it, or throwing a fish at you, or something like that. It's a poetry reading. Anyway, I wanted to try and keep this kind of short because I see a bunch of people on the wait list I hope we get to. And I came up with this poem for another turning of the year, and it was the millennium. And somebody had tossed out an idea about all the cities we were losing, and it kind of sort of fit in with today. So there's a little addition at the end. Lost cities. Parade masks and trumpets of New Orleans, looted by the hurricane, swirl on the Gulf Current north of Cuba, stranded survivors abandoned in moral struggle between human identity and complacent power. I, the new tenant in the drowned ward, federal depravity, indifferent and supercilious, become its own cancerous development with art and music infected by 80-story luxury tower that erases inspiration of street from future identity. Manhattan paved the face off its own personality. Erected with foreign deficits in world war on posterity's relevance, history of Beijing's streets erased for capitalist surrender, where profiting the copyright on revolution expired. To victorious psychosis led by idiots in power, ripped apart by argument so ancient no human knew its promise. Baghdad exploded neighborhoods of belief whose wisdom governed by stupidity could become hatred, where night air sounds with traumatized muezzins and lethal caliber of prayers aimed by the most inexpensive sniper. Photographed as evidence snooped with satellitic autopsies, nationalist insane asylum only visible in daylight, Pyongyang governed by 50-year-long night, washes brains, assembles hysterical conformists. Mogadishu weighing less than 90 pounds, its arguments more heavy with munitions, scene composed by thousands of gun sites, yet houses still hidden in by targets become what is left of citizens. Avoidance survives in the street, but with clothes and humanity blown off. East Berlin, obliteration Americans dropped from a 20th century Air Force now finalized by computer code factories and dance clubs, social purpose hurled off a bridge like Rosa Luxemburg's head. Detroit, hollowed out by economics in to blank spot where only crime does business while engine blocks of its personality subcontracted to nostalgia polluted with unemployed syndromes are compressed into scrapyard prosperity that gives its vote to a crack pipe. Now, all cities have disappeared. They live and throb below our own senses in our electrified plastic boxes. The graveyard is a mass transit system. Harsh voice risen across street before sirens. Person become faint breeze blowing through fingertips. Your millennial erasure, this sordid door.
Unmute yourselves and give it up. Oh,
Yes.
And the skip
Yes.
that was so
Oh
good.
man, come on.
Woo,
That's
love
like
it.
it's like Undertaker
Serious
poetry, man. Come
images.
on, yo.
Thank you.
Nice, Paul.
Hey, I heard someone say it's like Undertaker poetry. I love it. Paul, the people love you as always, brother. Where can we find you online?
This is paulskiff.com. I have some new content in the pipeline. I know I keep promising it. Undertaker poetry. You know, my brother would just say, live it.
Love that. Paul Skiff, thank you, Paul. Check out paulskiff.com. As I always say, he's a New York OG. He's got more claim to this open mic than I do, man. Make sure you go check this dude out. Also, I wanted to put in here, and I think she figured out that's why she turned her video off. Luciana, someone in the open mic dropped off, and I put you in their spot. Mr. Speaker had to drop off. He's not going to use his spot. So, Luciana, you are going up in like 3. I've got Tessa Somok, Sam Park, Assam Sine, and then you, okay? So we are in for a treat, but we're not going to get there just yet. We're going to get to another treat because I love hearing this dude too, and that is Tessa Somok, Mr. Tessa Somok. Where is he? He was on here before. There he is, and I love his artwork. All right, kids, it's story time. We about to learn something. How are you, Mr. Tessa Somok?
I'm good. You guys ready?
I'm ready. Go ahead.
All right. This piece is titled Being Towards Death. We've always had a great fascination with death. La Santísima Muerte, Nuestra Señora Siwamiquistli, Aztec goddess of the underworld, largely worshipped in private, in personal closet shrines, better known by the residents of Tepito, an impoverished, crime-riddled barrio of Mexico City. A relation to death is not like a natural relation to biological death. Death is not a simple event or a chronological moment in time. This is not a place at the end as a final biological time. Our relation to death is placed at the beginning. We don't begin to live till we recursively walk our death back. Our death creates the opening of possibility. Time is finite relation to the future and the past, structured by anticipation and memory. Death allows us to create links between the symbolic and the real, the potential to construct the structure of meaning, to fill the deficiency of meaning in our lives. Language can't represent it. Our symbolic rituals don't represent it. Our symbolic order begins in the primordial self. There is another deity from our underworld who we know as Mokekeloa, the one that mocks us. When he appears on the earth, he brings destruction, plagues, and only rarely does he provide good fortune to an individual. In the Chicano community, he has decimated over 54,000 since December 23rd, from over 227 deaths. Our long-standing gaps between us and white Americans have been exploited. Our income gap, our education gap, our healthcare gap, our community's higher incidence of diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. Our community has been losing at rates 3 times as high as the white population under 54 based on CDC data, almost 50% in the 35 to 44 age range. Who died where Mesoamerican diaspora people compared to 27% of Black people and 15% of white. As we are closer to the production of materiality, closer to the real, we are deemed essential workers, a necessary homo sacer, someone who can be killed without the killer being regarded as a murderer, and a person who cannot be sacrificed, a sacred human understood as someone outside the law or beyond it. A plaguish event as the one we are living leaves no room constructing meaning, no possibility of changing your future symbolic life, only a kind of terminal segmentation of finality that bypasses the primordiality of the self, robs you of a possibility, leaves you only with prayers. Blessed holy death, you are my protective fortress. You are my strength against my enemies. Today I ask you to keep away from me all crimes, damage, and evil, all envy, gossip, or evil. May all my enemies' negative wishes return to their owners.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Mr.
Nice,
Man.
Powerful. Thank you so much.
Mr. Tesasomo, always throwing down, man. Always throwing down. And I love his cadence too. I love it. I love it. Like when someone is confident in their words, you don't have to rush through it. Love it. Sir, where can we find you?
I think following Paul Skiff was like right up, kind of gave you a mellower version of the Skiff verse. This is the outskirts of the Skiff verse. Thank you all.
Love it. Where can we find you online?
You can find me on Facebook under Gashes 2019, and then also on Instagram on Gashes 2019. I'll drop it on the chat.
Thank you. Mr. Tesasomo, make sure you check out the chat so that you can find out where you can follow him. He is another mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. So I'm getting a couple of questions and I want to answer them as quickly as possible. To sign up for the Monday Night Online Open Mic on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, you go to nuyorican.org, you click on full events calendar, and then you would choose the Monday that you want to format. Now, again, if we're talking about next Monday, I think that's the 4th. So on the 3rd, you would go on at 8 p.m. and then you would click on the 4th, and then you would get an artist RSVP ticket, not the non-artist RSVP ticket, the artist RSVP ticket. Then you will be put on the open mic list. The first 25 to sign up are guaranteed a slot. The next 10 are on the waiting list. So, and from what I was told, I was not on the internet. Sometimes I got to take a break from the internet. I was not on the internet yesterday. I heard that within 10 minutes, 35 people signed up. So make sure that you check at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you don't see an artist RSVP option, that means it either hasn't gone up yet or it's already closed. So I'm hearing some people say 6 minutes. That's crazy. So I hope that answered any questions that people had. Also, another question is, how old must someone be in order to get on the open mic? They just gotta be breathing and being able to talk. That's it. All right. I've had my son on here when he was 9 and he performed a poem. So it's up to you, as long as we all know that there is no censorship. So I leave it up to you as parents and caretakers, whether you believe your kid can handle it or not, because I don't know your kid. You know your kid. You do it, right? You're the parent. You know better. I'll be damned like if people say you shouldn't show that to your kid. Fuck you. Sorry, I shouldn't have cursed, right? That's bad. But I get like that because it's like, yo, if he's gonna learn it in the street. I'd rather him learn it around me. It's like, this is what it is, all right? Don't listen to what the idiots say outside. All right, let's keep it moving, man. I'm getting into parenting and my dad jokes. I got to show you the cup that my kid got me for Christmas. But first, we're going to talk with Sam Park. Sam, how are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I got all parental for a second. I gotta, I gotta shake it off. So I know you're gonna bring the heat. So all right, the floor is yours. You ready?
I am ready. So today I have some new shit. Woo-hoo. This is for the topic, the theme 2020 was, but it's different. So this is a meditation and a moment of silence. Like the last embers of a fallen cigarette colliding with concrete, or the strut of a New Yorker pulsing steps with down beats, keeping rhythm but not willing to wait at cross streets, this year was a sudden stroll downtown to hell's heat. In search of milk and honey and resolutions to complete, the expectation of that sweetness left our tongues to deplete and salivate instead upon times that were bittersweet, as there was no time to digest the misfortune we ingested on repeat. Littered with bushfires and plagues and deceit, the potential of a new year was left incomplete. Prioritizing power over humanity is the pinnacle of conceit, and seeing it in our leaders turned our hope obsolete. Justice was overthrown by money sitting in mercy's seat, but money could never keep its crown, as justice also does not compete. If there's any evidence of justice, growth is the most valuable receipt, and I see the developed muscles of resilience as a generational feat. We walk away from stormy waters and onto a new terrain, learning that loss is the result in any pursuit of selfish gain. I was shown there is no better medicine than time to ease pain, and healing is evident when you replace expectation with welcome change. When you let go of what no longer serves or protects, your hands are now open to receive and collect. When something new approaches or chances renew and resurrect, accept it with action and gratitude, as that is how to treat it with respect. All the seeds we've sown will still thrive and germinate, though not on our timing, but that is no excuse to stagnate. In the meantime, forgive, shed light, and educate. Show kindness to each other and simply watch it duplicate. I rid myself of past burdens in order to concentrate on the next blessings that are just beginning to accumulate. Forget the lack mentality and instead let love fully permeate, because for all the love you share, the universe will reciprocate. I'd like to dedicate this poem to those that are still here, fighting against sickness, injustice, through the blurred vision of tears. Though the near future still seems so unclear, we meditate together over victory against our greatest fears. Lastly, I'd like to share a moment of silence in reflection of the work, the unrest, and the violence, and to appreciate the past legends, now entities of guidance, as we proceed into a new year with grateful abidance. Thank you. Did I mute? Oh, is my mic still on? Oh, yeah, I was weirdly talking to myself. That's cool. Save the advocate, please. I don't know what to do with myself. My job of performing is over. I'm like, I'm such a weird person. This is a lot for me. Oh, this is so good.
You hear me?
Oh, thank God. I'm so happy to hear you.
I got booted. Jason,
I am
thank you.
not a
I'm looking up.
host.
Thank you. What the? All right. I got booted. That's crazy. So how long were you on by yourself just talking?
I don't know. Time just froze.
Right. Well, everyone, that's Sam Park. She's going to be one of the new leaders for the New Eureka Poets Cafe. We're just testing her out as host. She did great as a poet. You let me know how she did as a host. Sam, where can we find you online?
Oh, so y'all can find me on Instagram at Zaddy_beats. That's ZADDY_beats. I also make playlists. Y'all can find me on Spotify. I have a project coming up, so like it's gonna be popping. So I'll send you guys the link to everything. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone has a blessed new year.
Sam Park. Yeah, let me know how she did as host, y'all. I know she does really well as a poet, but you gotta let me know how she does as a host. I'm gonna go back and watch it on Facebook. If you want to see this show on Facebook, it is recorded. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see like her heart was in her throat, like I'm so giving of my poetry. And no, wait, where's Advocate? Hello, how many people are watching me? All right. Assam Zane, let's keep it moving. Assam Zane, let me shout out to Jason. Had to reach out to Jason. I was like, I got booted. I don't know why, man. So what's going on, Assam? How are you?
What's going on, man? I'm all right. I'm good. I just want to say, I just want to say real quick. No, you.
No, I think that there's a time delay. That's why we're tripping over each other's words. I was just gonna say that. Are you one of those people that keep up their decorations well into January?
Into January, almost into February.
Like I put up so much time with it. All right. Let me mute myself. Yeah,
especially this year. All right. I was gonna say I listened to Sam Park on Trisha De Jesus's podcast today, and it was legit. You all should check it out. She was amazing, and then Trisha's podcast was so good. All right, so I have three, but they're short. I'll buzz through. This first one I learned today is probably not a haiku and probably not a senryu. It's probably what happens when they get together and fight. 2020 was a shiv through a tongue, a wrap around porch, a torch, the house off Bridge Road. This is called Home for the Holidays. I did not want to talk about politics this year. Then you asked your folks, did they see the ESPN 30 for 30 on the OJ trial? I thought, oh shit. Can you pass the potatoes, please? White people and black people took that verdict very differently. Oh, I believe that, your mother said. It's because of the LAPD's long history of racism. You can trace their origin all the way back to the slave patrols, you said. I squeezed your thigh under the table. Can I have a splash more wine, please? Your mother doesn't believe cops kill people just because of skin color. I wanted to say that if you search list of black people, Google will autocomplete with killed by police. I promised I'd keep my mouth shut. Told myself I don't have a dog in this fight. That some say goodnight with rifts, a fractured waxing, a passing over of the skin. Our kind write poems about sex and gratitude and an abundance bleached so white one could hardly make it out as a jawbone. I count the things I'm grateful for. That tonight your mouth has been asylum, my ordinary body, that the movement of my arms have no particular significance. They say the pupils dilate at the end, say the black eye pumps and blooms a bud in space, comes out of the blue, and that's it. You said this country was founded on one of the biggest atrocities in human history. That's it, your father said. Dinner's over. And this last one is called Noble Truth. My mother says you don't have to be a Buddhist to know life is suffering. That suffering comes when we hitch our wagons to dead horses. Our first nor'easter after moving, we were caught without shovels. We plowed the driveway with an old wooden headboard the previous owners left behind. Hours in, she told me she could see my future. You'll get gout like your grandmother. It'll feel like someone separated your big toe from the ball of your foot, placed shards of glass in the joint, reconnected your toe, and hit it a couple of times with a hammer. You'll also have a herniated disc. The pain will be so bad you won't be able to get your dick up. I took a razor's edge to my wrist as a kid. It was just once. I wanted to see what it would mean to stain stainless, to impermanent something. I didn't know I would just have to wait a minute. Do you ever think about our old apartment, how cold it got our last winter together? That night, you told me shame was just a point in time, that sometimes you can love someone so much, the only way to show it is through violence, that you wanted to unzip my skin and climb into the body. Thank you.
Give it up for Assam.
Wow.
Damn,
Sam.
Boink, bro.
Wow.
Boink.
Thanks, y'all.
Wonderful.
That was
Very nice.
amazing.
Quotable, unquotable, Assam Sine, man. Love it. Where can we find you online, brother?
Love you all, man. Happy New Year, and thank you for everything you all have done for me this year. I'm on Instagram at issam.zineh and Twitter at izineh.
Thank you, Sam. Make sure you put that information into the chat as well.
Thank you.
And happy holidays to your family, and to my replacement. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Assam's Zine's daughter is going to replace me as host. That's it. It's in the wings. Okay, next coming up. For the past few months, several months now, there has been a lovely woman in Brazil who has been showing us a lot of support, giving us a lot of love, but she's also using us. And I have to tell you what, she's using us because she's learning English. It is her second language. And she's been listening to us in everyone's cadence, which is probably throwing her off because we got so many different cadences. But she's been learning English. And now I think she's going to do a poem in Portuguese. I'm not sure. She's going to let me know. But for the first time ever, we are going to hear from Luciana. Let me unmute Luciana. I've never even heard her voice. I don't know what she sounds like. Here's the moment. Hi, Luciana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, tell me. You're gonna share a poem that is completely in Portuguese, right?
Yes, because it's a translation of a poem written by Ray Jane.
Oh, shoot. I sent Ray Jane a private message. I was like, Luciana's gonna be on this Monday. You better be good on. She's like, I'm there already. I already know. I know, Advocate. So, okay, Luciana is going to read a translated poem of Ray Jane's. This is awesome. A first on the online open mic with the new yo. Go ahead, Luciana. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. One day I wrote a message to Ray Jane. I asked her if she would allow me to translate her poem Sobering. She told me yes, and for the first time I had the experience of searching words in my own language to say what I had listened several times in her powerful voice, until I almost say it by heart. So this is sobering, which in Portuguese means sóbrio. Assim diz uma canção. Você quer ir onde as pessoas sabem, As pessoas são todas as mesmas. Você quer ir onde todos sabem seu nome. Mas você, porque na América, no mundo, saber um nome negro é um jogo perigoso. Nossos nomes vêm com etiquetas nos pés. Mulheres negras carregando nos ombros os sacos de mortos, carregando tudo sempre. Vamos brindar. Levante seu copo. Sirva um pouco a todos negros. De volta à canção. Você quer ir onde as pessoas sabem. As pessoas são todas as mesmas. Sim, só que não. Porque quando as armas aparecem, as armas deles, daqueles policiais, ferindo peles negras, nunca é suficiente para provocar desgosto branco. Atire na minha igreja e todos peguem seu Burger King, mas recebemos duros golpes nas portas. Se tiver sorte, mais provável 22 tiros do poder embriagado dos tiras. Tiros, 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 todo mundo gritando. Mas prenda os assassinos de Briona se você realmente se importa. Nós vamos festejar. Eles vão, todos. Vamos brindar. Levante seu copo. Sirva um pouco a todos negros. De volta à canção. Você quer estar onde você pode ver. Nossos problemas são todos os mesmos. Mas não são os mesmos. Quando um corpo negro é desmontado em cada TV e em cada prateleira e de alguma forma leva a culpa, não tem brancas que defendem privilégios sendo saqueadas. Ao máximo, elas estão sendo chutadas. Estou citando Muni, dizendo que deve ser bom ter a cara para a proteção, nunca precisar pedir por justiça 2 vezes. Não obstante, inúmeras vezes, para a pele branca há uma diferença entre infâmia e fama. Para a pele negra, instáveis coquetéis Molotov, muitas torrentes de medo, abatidas, agitadas, ainda indomadas. Não, essa merda não é a mesma. Mas vamos brindar, levante seu copo, sirva um pouco a todos negros. De volta à canção, abrindo caminho no mundo de hoje, leve tudo o que você tem. Sim, principalmente quando só estamos aqui tentando não levar tiro, tentando viver nossa paz. Não são tantos criminosos para precisar de toda essa polícia maldita. Cansada de medir palavras, cansada de ser o banquete devorado abertamente como bestas. Mas nós, os animais, vamos aparecer. Pega os fogos de artifício, irmã. Vamos sair desta cela. Vamos agitar essas barras. Um dia vai ser o pior dia. Eu gostaria. Eles tocam nossa música preferida porque nós vamos foder com tudo como se fosse nosso aniversário, mana. Vamos brindar. Levante seu copo. Sirva um pouco a todos negros. De volta à canção, fazer uma pausa de todas suas preocupações, certeza ajudaria muito. Você não gostaria de fugir? Todas aquelas noites quando você não tem luz? O cheque está no correio. Que correio? Estados Unidos prestes a matar. Serviço postal dos Estados Unidos também. E fugir para onde? Não tem segurança em nenhuma rua para nenhum ser humano tingido de negro, saco de corpo, em nenhum continente, use nenhum mapa. Quão confinada devo me sentir se o mundo inteiro é uma armadilha para mim, de joelhos dobrados a rezar para o Deus branco seu presente embrulhado. Você pode sentir nossa falta com isso. Traga de volta nossa magia ancestral, sem o tabu, meu voodoo para mim. Em vez disso, você junta dinheiro de impostos, imprimindo em Deus nós confiamos. Dê a volta e traga o pobre Jacob Blake de volta. 7 rodadas repetidas de calor proposital e chame isso de erro. 33,5% mais propensos a morrer nas mãos da polícia na terra americana. De onde aprenderam essa merda? Na Inglaterra, na Grã-Bretanha. Mas britânicos ainda falam merda. Você ainda pode se despir da masculinidade com um sotaque bacana. De novo, para onde você disse que ia fugir? Vou esperar. Enquanto isso, vamos brindar. Levante seu copo. Sirva pouco a todos negros. De volta à canção. Saia da cama, a máquina de café quebrou. Amanhã parece brilhante. Seu psiquiatra fugiu para a Europa e ainda não escreveu. Seu marido quer ser uma menina. Fique feliz que haja um lugar no mundo onde todos saibam seu nome. Os mentirosos excluem letras, editam seu ódio permanente, e nós cantamos tristeza, sempre o mesmo. Nos escravizam e perpetuam um alvo para mutilar. Vamos brindar. Levante seu copo, sirva pouco a todos negros. Mas rápido, fique sóbrio, porque eles vão voltar. Às vezes você quer ir onde todos sabem seu nome, e eles estão sempre contentes por você ter vindo. Você quer ir onde as pessoas sabem, as pessoas são sempre as mesmas. Você quer ir onde todos sabem seu nome. Thank you.
Boa pra caralho! Amo muito isso! Boa!
Real collaboration.
Love it, love it. Our first here at Puerto Rican Poets Cafe online open mic. And I'm still getting some feedback. Okay. And Paul Skiff had said, like, this is more than just like a fan because this took a lot of work. And I like how you said at the beginning how like there were some words in your own language you had to learn properly translated. So Luciana, thank you so much for like always giving us so much support. And now your voice is officially part of the community. It's been recorded. Real quick, I'm seeing Ray Jane. I'm gonna quickly unmute Ray Jane if she wanted to quickly add something in because it was her poem. Go ahead, Ray.
Thank you. I am blown away. First of all, I'm so proud of you because I know how scared you were. We needed to hear your voice, and I'm so glad that I was able to hear everybody else be blessed by you. Thank you so much for honoring me in that way.
Thank you, Luciano. Luciano, now you've been watching us. You know, the next question is, where can the people find you online?
Thank you. I am very happy, and I will put it on the chat.
Okay.
A little nervous.
Okay, and now the next poem, we're gonna get a poem from you in English next time, right? We don't know if next week, but sometime in the future, right?
Okay, I will try.
Awesome. Thank you, Luciana.
Thank you, Advocate, and thank you, Ray Jane. I love her, and I love everyone of this community. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Luciana. Oh, that's awesome. And she's been here for months. For months, she's been listening in on us. Also, Ray Jane, you can check Ray Jane out. It's rayjane.com. You can find info to like her Instagram and her SoundCloud. She's got like 60 recordings of poems up there. So check it out. It's rayjane.com. And Luciana, make sure you put your information in the chat so people can follow you. How awesome was that, man? That was awesome. All right. Next up is Melanie Figueiredo. I hope I pronounced that right.
You did. It's my
Yes.
time here. Yeah, it's nice to see everybody.
I know. Last time I think the hubby was taking care of the kids or something, right? Or someone was taking care of the kids or something. And then you had this poem about finding like this new man who brought you new life. I remember. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. It's your turn to talk. Go ahead.
Well, thank you for welcoming me back. And apologies, I'm performing from my bed tonight. I've been laid up for a couple of days with a virus, and I wasn't sure that I was going to show up. But then two things prompted me along. So one was the prompt itself, and all this language sort of flooded into my brain, and I caught it real quick last night and signed up. And then the second thing that showed up was my uniform. So I bought a little hoodie, and now I'm representing. So I'm gonna perform and then probably get back into the sheets because I'm spent. Here it goes. 2020. 2020 was unnecessary and unwelcome shoving into our cocoons to remember our essence and wrangle our demons, a forced metamorphosis for an army of caterpillars who resisted and still resist their becoming. Tight woven identities wrapped around our bodies, which are so eager to bud and bloom into spring, into light, into a kaleidoscope of butterflies, different yet one. 2020 was a year-long study in white supremacy and retribution, a year of death by large and small cuts. We bled and wailed, rending the air with sirens that sounded like screams and screams that sounded like the deepest grief, our clothes torn and our hearts gutted and laid bare and vulnerable. Black Lives Matter. 2020 was a year of hidden gifts as well. A year that smelled like cinnamon, all the baking and the eating and the lamenting of our tight clothes and all the elastic pants we continued buying to compensate. My 2020 in particular smelled like cardamom. It doused my coffee, my banana bread, and something about its temporary flavor reminded me a bit of salvation. For some of us, 2020 was a year to nurture our children, our families, our pets, our hearts, our small tribes who were finally allowed to see us without the masks of our jobs. No commute burdening our shoulders, no makeup, no constant and noisy striving, no overscheduled, overburdened, overcommitted versions of who we wanted to be. Instead, we were home and home and home, and finally beginning to come home to ourselves. This was a stripping of who we thought we were as individuals and as a collective. 2020 was a solitary confinement of our own making. We were forced to turn inward and reflect on the temples we've neglected, the sanctuaries that needed building, us lonely and ready souls longing for our specific touch only, our singular lens, and our secret, sacred solo tending.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Melanie
Wow,
Figueredo.
thank you so
Yes,
much.
Melanie.
Nice.
Thank you so
Nice.
much. That was
Very
really
nice.
nice. And it smells good too. Yes.
Loved it. Melanie Figueredo. Let me unmute her so the woman could go to bed. She is a mother. She is tired. I loved it. And like, you know, you were going through all the bad stuff and then how you flipped it at the end. I really like that. Turning inward. Melanie, where can the good people follow you?
I don't know if y'all can hear me because I know Advocate is in and out with his internet, but I'm not on any social media, so I'll be back here from time to time. Thank you for welcoming me.
Got you. Thank you, Melanie. Can you hear me well now? I hope so. I heard you well, Melanie. Awesome. Yeah, say my internet's unstable. Maybe that's what got me kicked out, man. You guys fire poetry is ruining everything, man. Can't stay locked online. Okay, so let me take a look at my internet. But first, we're gonna go to the next poet who's been given a lot of love and energy and yelling out things like Undertaker poetry. And that is, where did he go? Elemental the poet. Where did Elemental the poet go? Did he get booted? No way, this dude's been giving us energy all night long. Elemental, I don't see him. He's been giving energy all night long, and now it's his turn, and I don't see him. All right, if he gets back on, then I'll make sure. Oh wait, Trisha's saying he's there? He's there? I don't see him, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, I don't see him. With a mural in his bed. There he is. Now I see him. Let me unmute him. There we go.
It's the Woo Bears, right? It's the Woo Bears. You're like, right? If you see the Woo Bears and it's like, oh, right? It's the colors. I get it.
I didn't see, and I saw you the whole time. You were one of the videos that stood out, and then when I'm looking for you, I couldn't find you. But Trisha saved the day. Trisha De Jesus was like, no, he's right here. I see him on my screen. It was like Brady Bunch, like trying to figure out who's pointing out.
Appreciate you, Trisha. Right. She's always on point. Always appreciate you. Straight up.
She is.
Lush Cosmetics, all the usual suspects. Yo, straight up, I love all of y'all. The usual suspects are always in here. I wish I was Kaiser Sose, but maybe not. Yo, I wish I really, really want to, you know, just spread my love to all of y'all. Really, really, truly appreciate y'all so much. Advocate for always being on point, always like your theme music, getting ready for this shit is just like, you know what I mean? The anticipation extreme. Like, yo, I love that shit, man. Straight up. I love y'all so much, man. Really, really. As always, I really love the theme. I've written to the theme. Forgive me if I get a little bit vulgar, but I'm a poet and I'm an artist. So keep in mind, I'm sensitive about my shit. Let's get down real quick. 2020 was a bitch. First time in my life I ever wished I had the stomach for pimping, because I would have put that bitch on the blade faster than orgasms in paradise with a paradise. House money. Another example of taking something just above average and supercharging it. With 2020 gigawatts of pure nasty, this entity descended upon us like a famished swarm of locusts, coming to devour all remnants of what used to be this shape-shifting monstrosity, drooling at the ensuing chaos with a gluttonous appetite for destruction, attacked our foundation like a homegrown terrorist. Destroyed households, shattered perception, and gave birth to the strangest togetherness that ever existed. We walked side by side, sat in the same booths, eating the same food, bought from the same grocery stores, bodegas from Jamaica Ave to the PCH, and never thought twice to say, hey, I'm a human being that could use some human contact. Now, in a contactless society of state-sanctioned separation, far from everything we did our damnedest to shut out, we find ourselves missing being one invisible being in an endless sea of invisible beings. Breathing the same air and loving the same fireflies, making beautiful accents to priceless nights. This year was a tyrannical taskmaster, crushing our beliefs of that wouldn't happen to me. Don't you know how clean I am? I wash my hands every other time I use the bathroom. I mean, I only touch the handle and the paper. Add an eckie to your dos equis. This year was pornographic. Its vulgar vernacular brought a country to its knees, worshiping at the altar of anointment, waiting for cleansing rain, receiving only golden showers that taste like $600 slices of cheap cheese off of stale crackers washed down with a great value cola to stimulate the engine of change, evolving into viruses with viruses, waging biological warfare on a molecular level between scientists and citizen, genocide in a weaponized serum vials, your consent, given or otherwise, sticking to your lips like cotton candy, apple sugar, or lipstick stains from the kiss of death. 2020 waged war on my soul. Even my dreams are scarred from seeing the nightmares on daytime television screens pretending it's okay that gunpowder and rebellion are the songs in the streets. We said goodbye to people, things, dreams, broken masterpieces, and brilliant schemes, shed the heaviest tears our eyes could cry, praying the heaviest prayers with a children's honesty. I'm exhausted, crawling to the finish line, battered and bruised, hoping for better days, singing Sam Cooke because I know a change gonna come. Please, can we close this casket? Damn, bring on 2021, man. Appreciate it.
Can we close this casket?
Yeah.
Pulling it elemental.
That was it.
Push that.
Kill it.
Can we please, let me unmute Elemental so we can hear him one more time. Let me try to unmute him. My internet's unstable. Oh, why is it not working? You should be able to unmute yourself, Elemental. Can you? Why can't Elemental unmute himself?
All right, there it is. There it is.
You see, I went and I unmuted everyone, and then it worked. All right, unmute yourself now.
All right,
There
straight
we go.
up,
There
straight
we
up.
go.
All right,
You
all right.
warned us. You warned us a few parts. I was like, oh, but you warned us. Where can we find you online, brother?
I'm on IG, Elemental the Poet, YouTube, Elemental the Poet, at Twitter at Elemental. I really have most of you already. Look, I truly appreciate all of you. Your energy feeds me. That's why I always try to feed you back. You know, you folks are truly the breath of life, and I truly appreciate you. I love you all, and you will see me, man, because I'm in this. I'm in this to win this, yo. I love y'all all, for real. If I don't see y'all, Happy New Year, straight up, 2021. I'm in the building, straight up. I love y'all all, straight up. Advocate, you're the business, homie, straight up. I love y'all.
Thank you, brother. That's Elemental. Close the casket already. That's my new line. That's gonna be my new line for everything, all right? When things should be done. Close the casket already. I love it. All right, next coming up is Marissa Prada. And I see Marissa right there. Let me unmute her. Is it asking you to unmute? It should be asking you to unmute. Maybe my internet is slow. I don't know what's going on now. Where is it? Am I looking like Sam now? Am I looking like Sam Park? I'm a host with a deer in headlights. I can't unmute the people. There we go.
All right, here we go. I'm like, it won't let me do it, Advocate. I'm pushing the button. It won't let me do it.
I kept pushing it like it's gonna change something. I was starting to be insane. Do the same thing over, expect a different result. Take that. Okay, let me mute myself. Go ahead, Marissa.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me tonight. God, I'm so fucking glad this year is over, almost over. And I'm so grateful and humbled to be a part of this crew. So thank you so much. I am in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So Advocate, I will send you some stuff from New Mexico to the cafe. All right. The poem I have for you tonight is titled Submarine. Here we go. Beneath the definition of hero can be found the description of a man. So many heroes have been heroes because of the swinging dick between their legs. So how could a woman ever be a hero? Heroism to me has always been a bullshit vocation. Every hero in my life has been a bullshit abandonist. Never my hero again. So when my 6-year-old daughter wrote in her first grade notebook, my mom is important to me because she loves me. She helps me with my homework. I love that we have morning cuddles. She is my hero. I brushed it off at first, not even a second thought of thought. I forgot to listen. The call came in the form of flashing lights for the deaf. The call came in the form of my own tears and tonic for this chronic amnesia. Our future was calling on a frequency I frequently lost. I frequently forgot to remember because there was nothing heroic about heroes. I make mistakes, don't wear a cape, hate pickles, and sometimes can't even get out of bed. I ride a broom from time to time and cry for the time I can never get back. Never been to war, only battlefields in my mind. So how could I be a hero? Heroes don't cry. Heroes aren't weak. Heroes don't lie. And certainly I'm not trying to lie to my children when I say I would never leave them. The way she looks at me and smiles, or hugs me, or presses her face into mine, I realize, like it or not, being a hero has already been called to order, and it is not for me. It's for all of the ouchies that receive a kiss and the help with spelling homework. It's for all the adventures we take and tears I wipe. It's for the mornings that begin with a snuggle and nights that end with a song. The dreams we imagine and knowledge that anything is possible. It's every single day. Surviving to be the one dickless hero in this entire world, not to abandon my girls. I hear the raging call, calling to our future. So perhaps the little girl still hovering inside me will find her one true hero, herself. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and
Whoa. Yeah, Marissa, go in.
Bro,
Go in, Marissa.
so,
Go in.
so on.
Yes,
Go.
job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Marissa Prada. Let me unmute her one more time. And I think I heard someone say, yo, you the man, Marissa, you the man. I took that as just a joke. I don't think they're trying to like get under your skin. I thought that was kind of funny right there. But Marissa, I love the poem, love the saying, and I love having you on because I never know where you're coming from with your poetry, and it's so appreciative. Where can we find you online, Marissa?
Thank you so much. Marissa Prada on Facebook, Prada Painting and Poetry on Instagram. And I author Poetography 505 on Facebook, and I co-author The Word Is Right, WRITE on Facebook as well. I'll pop it in the chat, but thank you guys so much.
Please do. Thank you. Marissa Prada, a mainstay at the Monday night online open mic. I love having her on, man, because you never know where she's coming from, you know, and she gets so into it. Love it. All right. Next come is Norm Mathematics. I love having this dude on, man. He's been on with us for months. Another mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic. Norm, how have your holidays been, brother?
So far, so good. And you look like you got a Christmas gift of a beard, bro. Look at you.
It's beard
Haven't
season,
seen you for a
man.
while.
I've been letting it grow, you know, been letting it grow, trying to look a little bit older.
Looking good, Papa. Okay, I got two pieces, and I think they're both on the theme. Here I go. First piece is called Like It or Not. Shelter in place, self-quarantine, an opportunity to go inside. Maybe build a rocket to explore your universe. Maybe invent the fuel for a rocket you've already built. Maybe leave your skin in a pile at the door, sanitizing raw knuckles, peeling out of gloves like a snake, shedding lives between a rock and a hard head. Say goodbye to superficial thinking. Poets are the scouts exploring with inner vision. Bring your telescope. Second piece is called Meditation Threads. Sitting straight back in the wooden desk chair, silent like meditation, steady breathing, eyes closed, glaring at the back of my eyelids, waiting for the tick-tock calendar pages turn, legs shifting, feet shaking, temperatures rise and feelings start to boil, slicing like daggers thrown from across the room, aimed at your eyes. Can't see them coming. Having thinking crazies, afraid of being seen, hoping to be obscured. Can't wrap your arms around that. I know crazy, and this ain't it. I've wrapped my arms around crazy. All I was hugging was me. Push into vulnerability, feeling safe enough to fall into chaos, walking a fine line between now and never again. Standing up against the wailing winds of trauma, gusting cycles of fear, pain, horror, sexual exploitation, physical battering, emotional abuse, psychological triggers set like minefields, torched forests burn, beyond recognition. The body releases its carbon, every rock overturned, every wall crumbled. Trauma echoes resound in the silent body that mind wears like an ill-fitting pajama, makes us wear PTSD like calloused skin, broken bones scarred. Anger breaks my voice into 15 shards of glass, wood and metal ball bearings imploding inside a vest wearing a mask. A quarter smile turns into a dark, dangerous, terror-filled stare. Target shredded. Survivors call for extra band-aids to tape the tail on the donkey. Me feeling like an ass that I grew manhood out of wild seeds, thrown on a fallow macho. Maybe call for a piece of liver, smothered in onions to regenerate another human being, instead of dirt turning to dust, tattooed with a mustache, expecting tree rings without nurturing the ground, like you wanted something to grow. Peace.
Unmute yourselves and give mathematics some love.
Nice,
Norm.
Wonderful. I love it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Norm mathematics. You the woman, Norm, you the woman.
I'm feeling it.
That's what's
Got
up.
chills and
Norm,
everything. Wow.
where can we find you on?
You can find me in Manhattan.
You want some mashed potatoes?
I'm all.
Oh, wait. You got muted. Hold on, Norm.
No
Marissa,
mashed potatoes for
somehow
me.
you got-
Thank you.
Yeah, somehow you got unmuted, Marissa. Maybe it's from all that clicking trying to unmute yourself before. But next time, make enough mashed potatoes for all of us. But go ahead, Norm. Where can we find you?
Instagram, that's Norm underscore Maddox, and then Norm Maddox on Facebook. And Get Home Safe is also my chapbook website on Facebook.
Awesome.
Hey, God
Make sure
bless
you
all of y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Norm. Make sure you put the information in the chat too, so people could copy and paste. You know, people
Right.
are lazy. That's why they want to have mashed potatoes, because they're too lazy to make it on their own. So you got to check the chat now, Marissa, because everyone wants mashed potatoes. You got messed up. So, yeah, we want mashed potatoes. All right, next coming up is, I had him listed as Beowulf, but he said it is Propaganda Poet. Let me unmute Propaganda Poet.
How we
What's going
doing
on?
this
Where you,
evening?
where you located?
I'm stuck in the Midwest right now, but I'm a West Coast boy. I just want to go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're new to the Monday night online open mic, so we try to figure out like where we got people from. So, all right, cool. But you said you're from the West Coast. Where?
I spent some time down there, and I was on the San Diego Slam team for a couple of years. I was a runner-up, I was a stand-in for one of the LA teams, the Orange County team, and then I ended up in the Midwest because of family, and I'm ready to get out of here.
Well, yes, I rocked out in San Diego and LA. I liked it. I like San Diego, and Rudy Francisco was out there.
Beautiful.
It is. No offense to LA, but I enjoyed San Diego more than LA. You know, LA was weird to me, but that's for another subject. I love people from LA, though. I love people from LA. Just LA was a little weird. Nonetheless, let me mute myself. Propaganda Poet. Go ahead, get into it.
First and foremost, I just want the New Eurekan, legendary, historic New Eurekan, and I'm so privileged and honored to be a part of it. I had the blessings to actually perform there on that stage about 12 years ago. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And I'm like the Skiffmeister said before, like, this isn't a poetry reading, man. This is a support group. So be ready, because that's what, and I thank you all for being part of my support group, because Without things like this, I honestly, truly wouldn't be alive today. So I thank you for all that. I didn't know there was a writing prompt, but I just happened to be working on a chapbook called 2020 D Vision. And these are a couple of short excerpts from it. Okay, this first one is called Open Season on Poetreason. I have a Fight Club mentality in a they live reality. It feels like Sesame Street insanity every time I step out that door. Trapped in capitalist idiocracy, married to rampant religious hypocrisy with planned obsolescence bureaucracy, inviting the vultures to feast on the poor. We follow a piecemeal constitution in need of massive evolution, so keep up with the revolution, but only the one that they've been milking for hundreds of years. No, it is time for real reclamation. Let's brand it Reboot the Declaration. Hopefully recapture the attention of this nation away from these systematic media spastic fears. We suffer snake charmer leadership because we have prepubescent readership. It's like a sad, sadistic comic strip. We're in a film that's both fluff and snuff. This neo-American dreamscape has been built on congressional class rape. How much more manipulation can you take? Just when is enough? Finally, enough. The price is far too high, and the end is far too nigh. And if we actually even make it into the history books, there'll be no reason to wonder why. Second piece is called This Pointless Hamster Wheel, Not It Sonnet. I no longer have time, energy, or patience for fools being fooled by fools. I'd rather go for a walk and talk to the hawks, soaring above this push and shove that we've invited in to colonize and conquer our love. So continue running round and round where middle ground doesn't even want to be found. I'd rather not pound my head against that wall. Instead, I say, fuck it, just let it all fall apart. What better way to make a new start? And then one last little one. This is called Wake Up Call. Blue horizons are just the beginning. Blue may have won, but America is still lost. The cost of living is making a killing. Rampant racism races through our veins. The stains of red rains still flood the unfortunate. True equality is being pushed to the back of this bipartisan party bus, but ain't nobody gonna be able to stop us if we can actually learn how to work together. This division shit has got to go. This victory is hollow if this is all that we have to show for it. If we are truly going to rise, then we have to be wise enough to recognize that we have to rise above this entire white privilege mess. And I must confess that I'm still a bit worried that if we hurry through this need to declare victory prematurely, then we are surely in for more. Red stains are still raining shame in many places and fear on many faces. If we are truly going to rediscover each other, then we need to rediscover each other. We must not let freedom allow us to become numb. Otherwise, we are merely free to be dumb. Now, I mean it sincerely when I say by all means enjoy this celebration day, but our true victory is still quite a ways away. So roll up your sleeves, boys and girls. We got a lot of work to do.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Propaganda Poet.
Yeah, roll up your sleeve, get dirty, bitches.
Yes.
Thank you so much for letting me be a part of the New Year.
Get dirty, bitches. All right, that's gonna. Oh wait, let me unmute you one more time, Propaganda Poet, so we can hear you. There you go. There you go. Go ahead, brother. Where can we find you online?
Actually, I'm on YouTube. Changeling Studios. Changeling Studios. There's the actual link for it right there. It's called Changeling Studios because it has all of my performing personas. I'm Propaganda Poet. I'm a musician, Oso Lobo. And I also do this other thing, like old school, old timey thing called Bard Wannabe. So it's all there on Changeling Studios.
That's what's up. Thank you, sir. Do not be a stranger.
I will see you next week.
Awesome. Propaganda Poet. Appreciate him. A newcomer here to the Monday night online open mic. And he gets it. This is, I don't know, maybe it's a New Yorker, but it's something about San Diego. San Diego looks more like what LA looked on TV for me. And I'm speaking as a New Yorker. You got to LA, it's all spread out, man. And even the hoods out there don't look hood. It's like, how can you be mad? There's palm trees in space. I don't get it. I don't know, but that's just me. All right, moving along, we are going to Lila. Let me unmute Lila, who is up super early, right? It's like 6, 7 a.m. for you?
I don't know if it's early or late. It's about 400 right now.
Oh, okay. 4 a.m. She's like, I'm so tired. It's like 400.
No, it's, yeah.
All right. Oh, wait. We lost Lila. She froze for a second. No. Lila, can you hear us? Ah, Lila's all the way out and hungry. So, all right. Lila, when you come back, hit me up and I'll call you again because you froze, just in case you hear me. So I'm gonna move to the next poet and I'm gonna. Oh, wait, there you are. Right, she returned right when I was about to move. She was like, "Hell no, I stayed up till 400 in the morning to be here."
What's happening?
I hear you now. You're good to go. All right.
Okay, I was just saying that I forgot about the theme completely, so I wrote this while the others were reading.
Oh, okay, awesome. New shit. Go ahead.
Okay. 2020 was a slap in the face. A frozen fish slap right in the jaw, ringing your ears with a reality check. Don't be sad that she won't give you your gunshot wound. She wasn't worth the gift of your life, only you are. You will find a way to get it. If not the next year, then the next one. Don't try to think further ahead. 33 would be perfect anyway, just like that hero of yours. The one riding the rider truck, the one witnessing hypocrisy, the one who got cheated out of his plot in Arlington, the one that made a win out of a loss, the one that got free at Terre Haute, the one with a bowl of ice cream. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Even if 2020 cast me adrift among heathen dreams, and the clouds obscured the true north from my eyes. Naysayers whispered and hollered in packs. The thirsty tree wails for sustenance. For 1776 2.0, what are you waiting for? Each other, maybe. Who's a true friend? Is there such a thing? Or every friend's face is a cover hiding a monster with a three-letter name? You never know. No one knows. Your hero came too early. Does that devalue him? Let each heart give its own answer. Let each heart call out and answer one another. Let each heart know that it won't beat forever. His own heart fell in love with potassium chloride. Mine is ready to fall in love with lead. Let each heart find its own true love and follow it, selfishly as all true love is, greedily like my lips on your breasts, ungovernably like a weed growing through a crack in the concrete. 2020 was a reminder that nobody is perfect, but also that only a few are truly evil. Watch out for the lies and the truth behind them, hiding like a nondescript cup among all the gilded vessels. Remember, the real grail was the least shiny one. 2020 was when you found your way back to Alisa Zinovievna again. In hard times, she's always there, even if you forget her when things go well. If she made it out of here, so will you. When the reporter asked her to justify her being an artist and even being married to an artist instead of an industrialist, you heard echoes of your own self-doubt in his voice and finally realized how messed up that question was. 2020 was, well, something. Defying expectations, demolishing routines, Mama Joe memes and shouting matches. I cannot claim the names that have been plastered all over because I'm lighter than them, but I can say I am Duncan Lemp, I am Ryan Whittaker, I am the small business thrown under the bus under the guise of saving lives. You can ban me if you want. You can block me if you like. Someone has to say it. The first is for everyone, even those you don't agree with. And the second is there to safeguard it. These brothers are your most valuable allies and resources. If they shred the paper they are written on, write them on your own heart, your own damn wounded heart. If not you, then who? And I have a little shorter one. This is called For the Jesus Crowd. Santa has two daughters, establishment and free exercise. One keeps me off your toes, the other keeps me off of yours. Screw with one, lose the other. I hold your feet to the fire, but there's no real need to make the situation this dire. Instead of chasing a wild goose, I'm here to propose a truce. You want to praise your Lord? I want to earn that sweet green. So let's do it together and defy the machine. Open doors and open hearts, even if it's hard, because it only serves them if we are kept apart. Everybody got their own shit to look out for. Your concern is salvation, and mine is my brother's store. But the cancer eating both of them is the same this time. Painted denim or carmine, it's the same damn crime. So show me your face and I'll show you mine. Sell a cloak for a sword and hold the line. If you don't take up the offer, don't whine when you're alone. Take it up with your Jesus. He might throw you a bone for holding your convictions over your life and perishing in this self-inflicted strife. I don't ask for too much here. For real, guys. Just don't try to stick your book between my thighs. Because Santa has two daughters, establishment and free exercise.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Lila.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lila. Yay.
Nice. Awesome freestyle. Yo.
Awesome.
What an ending. What an ending. All right, let me unmute Lila. What a way to end it. Love it. Don't stick your book between my what? Love it. Lila, where can we find you online?
Minarchist.queer on Instagram, Librarian of Hell on DeviantArt, and pretty much freaking everywhere where it's where this has to do with the Libertarian Party. Yes, we're still here. We're not dead. We're not dying. It's a thing. And well, if you want to get me out of Europe, then message me on one of those.
Awesome, awesome. Make sure you put the information in the chat as well. Thank you, Lila. DeviantArt, man. I was around DeviantArt when it first began. I can't believe it's still going. Shout out to them over there. Real quick, shout out to the people who are checking out and they're not on open mic. Like Zay has been active. Thomas Connor, always giving us love. Karen Scott. Tara Lee, I see Mr. Speaker gave up his spot, but shout out to him. He gave up his spot, Luciana got to rock, and he brought us Marissa Prada, appreciate him. James Spoken Word, I love your background and the energy you're always giving. Thank you very much for being here. I know James Dean's on the open mic. Karen's on the open mic. I don't know if we're gonna get to her, but nonetheless, shout out to Karen Schlesinger. Chance and Bird, I know he's on the waiting list. Scott Pleasance, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Poetaku is here as well, all the way from Japan. Love that dude too. And we have someone new I've never seen before. Maria, I don't see your whole name. Zoom doesn't have it. Maria Del Lamar Zamo, that's all it's showing me. But hi, Maria. She sees that I see her. Abraham Cardona, what's going on, brother? So, and Midnight showed up, man. He got to change his profile pic with that Mets hat, man. Like, stop. You embarrassing all of us. Yeah. All right, cool. Sorry. So next coming up is, I just missed it, is the Urban Cowboy Poet. He knew he was next. He was like, I'm over here, man. I'm over here. Love it. All right, it's story time once again. You ready to go, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm healthy and safe and alone. Of all the things I thought I might be when I grew up, I wouldn't have guessed hermit. But that's it. I'm going to do my legend, like always, fire diving. But just for you, I wrote an extra stanza for the theme that'll flow right into my legend. 2020 was a lot of things. Most all of them were bad. A virus killing millions, the president gone mad, murder hornets, killer cops, caged kids, and scary weather. This happened during California's worst fire season ever. On a hot day in the summer, Charlie did what he loved most. He went scuba diving off the California coast. No better way to keep cool than exploring in the water. What Charlie didn't know was that his day would get much hotter. As he was hunting clams and stuff and flippering around, from above the surf, he heard a whoopa whoopa sound. Charlie got to wondering just what that can be, and a round metallic vessel starts submerging in the sea. He felt himself being pulled aboard by some powerful suction. What the heck was going on? An alien abduction? Was Charlie being hijacked through some aqueous moon of Jupiter by flippered beings who think that he's just like them, only stupider? Well, Charlie was out there swimming around and playing scuba games. 100 square miles of forest land was going up in flames. The U.S. Forest Service had to set its plan in motion. They sent a fleet of aircraft to scoop water from the ocean. Weren't a flying saucer, just a Forest Service chopper, carrying seawater, fishes, crabs, and Charlie in its hopper. 1 minute Charlie's in the sea, then in the wild blue yonder. Next thing he knows, he's fighting fires. He's become a first responder. When the pilot dumped his bucket on the patch he aimed to soak, Charlie landed in the branches of a black and red oak. He dived equipped with tank and mask, flippers, and wetsuit, but he forgot to bring along his fireproof parachute. Later, when the Rangers surveyed damage they could see, they spied a curious crispy critter hanging in a tree. Is that a bear way up there? One ranger had to ask. Not unless a bear would wear 2 flippers and a mask. California firemen's wives were so proud of their spouses who fought to save the pot farms and the $1 million houses. If you'd asked old Charlie's wife, she'd have said the chance was 0 that her scuba diving hubby would turn out to be a hero. When they ID'd Charlie, his wife cried, but her head couldn't be held higher. He was credited with extinguishing 2 square yards of fire. Fate's a bitch when a man goes diving looking for adventures and winds up burnt so bad he must be ID'd by his dentures. Thank you.
Wow.
Mute yourselves and give it up for the urban cowboy poet.
Love
As
it.
always,
Cowboy.
as always, on point.
Love it,
As
cowboy.
always.
See, now I have to go and try to do something great with my life so one day the urban cowboy poet can write a tale about me. That would be awesome. I would love that. I'm trying to unmute him. There we go. Urban cowboy poet. Where could the good people find you online, sir?
Urban Cowboy Poetry, YouTube and Facebook.
Urban cowboy poetry on YouTube and Facebook.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate having you on. I'm so happy that you're now a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Have a good 2021.
Thank you. Yeah, 2020. Close the casket already and bring your telescope. That's going to be the theme. Close the casket already and bring your telescope and pass the mashed potatoes. All right, that's going to be the theme for tonight. All right, next up is Ron Mark Thompson, but Ron Mark Thompson is going to cheat a little, right? Because he's not going to do his poem by himself. Am I correct, Ron?
Yes, you are correct. You know who to unmute?
Yes. Yep, I got both of them. Don't say nothing. I got both of them. We'll just surprise everyone. We'll just surprise. Wait,
oh, okay. I love it.
Wait, one of the people I'm trying to unmute, but it's not unmuting for her. Why isn't it unmuting for you? I'm trying. I wonder if this is on my end because it's with a few people.
Yeah, I've been having internet problems on my end too. I wonder if the Bronx, tonight for some reason, the issue.
Okay. Oh, she's unmuted. All right. They're both unmuted. I'm gonna mute myself.
No. Trisha instead of Karen.
Oh, that's why. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Karen. I was unmuting Karen. It's Trisha. Sorry. Now
Now
we
we're
get.
gonna have to get to her on the waiting list, you know. But it's not working for Trisha. Uh-oh.
No, because I haven't tried Trisha because I just lost
Oh,
her. I had her on my screen. Man, I'm looking like a noob on Zoom right now. What the heck, man? Maybe Sam. Is Sam still here? Sam, you're gonna have to take over for me. All right, I'm gonna mute
Yeah.
myself. Go ahead.
Now we go. No, but thank you. Hey, you recommended it a few weeks ago. Remember when we did a community poem? So that's what I'm basically doing. But I want to thank the cafe. Oh, but Edgar, you're going to have to remove the spotlight. Otherwise, people will only see me instead of everyone.
No, there's something that I know how to do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I am not a Zoom noob. All right, the three of you have the floor. Go ahead.
Oh, wow. Okay, got you. Cool. Now, just I want to thank the cafe because last Thursday on Christmas Eve, Joanna hosted. It was she had a great featured poet, and it was a full house. I was so happy to be here with everyone else. The open mic was 3 minutes, which was kind of a great practice for the 2 minutes this New Year's Eve. So I'm glad we did that. And Advocate, as always, thank you for the themes that you give us because it's like homework. You are our teacher. It's a great challenge, you know, to keep this discipline. So here we go. Let's go. 2020. 2020 was the most horrible year we've been through. A virus tore apart our families, the worst for me and you. 2020 was the year in our country when 330,000 of us succumbed to an evil infection. This is very treasonous. Furthermore, the fool's king, who in my opinion murdered them all, mocks the people, keeps throwing the ball, and just won't fall. And that so-called leader will not give up his throne. He refuses to leave and keeps tweeting on his phone.
But Ron, please, think of all the good. 2020 was the year we did everything else we could. Us living united more than ever, we became a lot more clever. We connected virtually, used Zoom, Skype, and FaceTime. And look, Ron, you wrote many poems, each with a rhyme.
We showed our love. We hugged via the internet. We all developed a totally new kind of mindset. 2020, we finally stood up for those unjustly shot. We protested, demanded changes. Black Lives Matter. We fought. We stood in line or mailed our ballots to vote. We gave our country a lifeline, a rescue boat.
2020 rewrote poems and stories and contributed to anthologies. Some of us published their new books with our technologies. 2020 was the year that saved my sanity, my health, and my life. Trust me, several times in my kitchen, I had to hide my knife. My friends encouraged me, and so did my writer groups and our community. You all gave me virtual immunity, hopes, positivity, and new opportunity.
2020 was a beacon of hope. We all became human again. We were reminded to be kind and use our brains again.
Fellow poets and performers, 2020 was quite interesting, even with face masks and all that social distancing.
In 2020, we met the withdrawn, who is nothing like his name. Instead, he is very outgoing. His twisted poems lifted him here to fame.
Or how about Kylene, who said she was reserved and shy? Remember when she started singing here and we all got a high?
We met Mr. Speaker. We loved listening to our TED Talker. Or how about Miss Ray Jane? When she first spoke in that booming voice, ooh, what a shocker.
We've heard from many poets with accents, yes, like me, from many places in our world, from almost every country.
There are so many of us now, dear poets, who are not mentioned in these lines. You gave us your everything, your emotions, your feelings, our thoughts, connected us through tough times.
You all showed us your writing, your talent. You were the light for us all. In front of the Zoom camera, you stood and sat very proud and tall. And let's not forget our gracious hosts and the producing team who work all week. Advocate, Labua, Jason, Chris, Nick, you made Mondays and Thursdays and all the other days unique.
2020 was a year so vexing. Our minds and souls found it so perplexing. Using our kindred spirits, soothing, calm, and positive praise. Look at the poets we collectively raised.
2020 was for me dizzied highs and deepest lows, shimmering accomplishments mingled with loss no one should endure. But though fate would rather be defeated, morose, I reject it, choose instead to champion empathy and succor.
Wow, indeed. 2020 was both the worst and the best year. We've been through it all. I think I now need to drink a beer. Thank you all for cheering and motivating me and us, for keeping me alive, for not throwing us under the bus. I want to see all of you over and over again in 2021. Please come back. Our good times are not yet done. Let's keep our spirit and optimism for 2020 alive. Let's continue to speak. For the best we strive.
And as Ron would say, this shall be our poetic gift for you tonight.
We hope we made your evening and spirit a bit more bright.
The end.
Mute yourselves and give
I
it up
love
for
that.
That was great.
Awesome. I loved it.
Fantastic.
I felt like a recharge.
Performance from everybody.
Big, huge, warm heart.
Nice.
Very, very talented.
Ron Mark Thompson, and I just lost him on my screen. There he is. Ron Mark Thompson and Trisha De Jesus and Diane Ward. Let me unmute Ron first. Ron, real quick, before we begin, also, I want to shout out Nicole. I can't believe I didn't shout her out. She's been coming for the last several weeks when I was giving shout outs to everyone who's giving love. So shout out to Nicole. So yeah, she's looking at like, what? Talking to, yeah, I'm talking to you. You just scratched your head. Yeah, I was talking to you. Shout out. You giving love to us. So, you had your video on. I just like to shout the people out. Okay, Ron, where can the people find you online and all that you do, brother?
I'm going to forgo that because I want to make sure we get to the waiting list. But Diana and Trisha, even though Diana is not online, she does have a recurring program that she now hosts. So if you could unmute both of them, and I'll wait for the waiting list. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ron. Go ahead, Trisha. Where can we find you online?
On Instagram, Finn_Bell, PHYNNE_BELLE.
Thank you. Make sure you put it into the chat. Awesome. And last but definitely not least, Diane Ward, whose husband is not going to beat me up. Diane, where can the people find you?
You can find me right here, and on Monday nights, because this is the Monday Night Family that I have been so happy to be part of. And I also have the Listening Hour, which is part of the United Moravian Church, which you can look them up. It's a fantastic group. If you're interested, I would be more than happy to let you know how to contact them. But it's every second and fourth Saturday It's the listening hour. There's no critique. It is just for me to get some fledgling writers together and let them feel fun and happy and creative. And it's called the Listening Hour, United Moravian Church on East 127th Street. So thank you so much. It's a wonderful group. I'm sure you'll have poets from there here.
Awesome. Thank you, Diane. And if you can, make sure you put that info in the chat so that people, again, copy and paste and put it into Google. Thank you. Diane Ward, that was a treat. I love it. I love it. See, it's why we connect with everyone. What we really want to build. And, you know, especially now during the pandemic, there's a bunch of writers at home wishing they had pen pals. So next coming up is Vale, the trendsetter Larkin. Let me, and Vale's like, yo, that joke is getting old. Stop it. Vale, how are you this evening?
You know, I wrote a poem yesterday, and today I had an asthma attack, and I can barely speak. So I'm going to have my fellow Pittsburgher, Mary Bunderman, read for me, if that's okay.
Okay, let me unmute. All right, here we go. Let me unmute Mary. You guys are really testing my Zoom skills tonight, but it's all right. I'm going to make it happen. All right, cool. So I'm going to mute Vale right now, but Vale's still in the spotlight because it's Vale's poem. But Mary's being the champion, getting her lifetime Zoom camera going, and is going to read Vale's poem. All right. You ready, Mary?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So excited to read Vale's poem. We love having Vale around the Pittsburgh scene. They're an incredible poet, and this poem is fire. The title is A Year in the Hand. I'm staring at my hands as the clock counts down and they tremble to the ticking, and this is all nonsense. How we slice time like this, like it's more digestible this way, like it's easier to get down, to get through, or to hold on to. Our hands are in the air. My friends, my family, my love's hands are up, sky high like sunflowers, reaching for light in the fog. Don't shoot, don't shoot. This is not a riot. Thousands of hands, every shape, every shade, but we cannot hold on. No, we cannot hold on to justice. Their hands are clutching chain link, are clutching mylar, like a cruel birthday prank. 5 years old and it's a party, but the balloons have all burst into a mockery of blankets, tiny hands clutching nothing, no one to lift, to carry, to hold them close. So many hands, but they cannot hold on. No, they cannot hold on to mercy. They're handing out tablets like windows into the wards, little pictures of death, of staggering breath, of love losing. Say goodbye before you cannot speak. Say goodbye before you cannot hold on. Hands everywhere, in every corner of the world, and they cannot hold on to time. No, they cannot. My hands are shaking on the edges of the table as I still myself in every other way I can. Because this is the moment, my close-up, where they see every fine-boned detail and the ways that they're all going wrong. Hands collapsing, legs and spines. 8 hands and 2, and I cannot hold on. No, I cannot hold on to life. I'm staring at my hands as the clock counts down. Hold on.
Unmute yourselves and give some love to Vale
Nice.
by way of Mary.
Mary and Vale.
That was excellent.
Boost to 2.
Excellent representation, man. Excellent.
Feet shaking.
For a reader.
Ooh, that was all. The writing was awesome. Let me unmute Vale. I'm not going to make Vale speak too much.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, yeah. Oh, love the poem. Thank you to Mary.
Yes, thank you, Mary, so much for doing that for me.
I was watching Vale too, because you know you were in the spotlight too, and it looked like you were starting to get uncomfortable, like you were getting dressed in front of everyone, you know. And Mary is like such a fantastic reader. I enjoy
He's an
listening.
amazing reader, yeah.
Awesome. So, where can we find you online? And I hope that you get better soon.
Thank you. On Facebook, I'm vale.larkin.writes. And on Instagram, I'm Vale Larkin, all one word. And I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Vale. Vale Larkin. And real quick, let me unmute Mary real quick. And Mary, one more time, remind the people where they can find Mary. Go ahead.
Oh, you can just find me here at the New Eurekan or at the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective with Vale as a bonus. Come hang out with us.
Awesome. So that was Mary Blenderman. Thank you, Mary. I'm gonna have to check out Pittsburgh Poets now because I really enjoy Mary and Vale. Like, they are awesome. They are now mainstays. New York's claiming them. All right. Sorry, Pittsburgh. Y'all can have them on Tuesday and Wednesday if you want. Monday, they knew yo. All right. It's claimed. All right. Turf 4 time. All right. Next up is supposed to be, like tonight is just really got its own theme on its own. Where's Generalissimo? Tonight, Generalissimo is supposed to be next. But before Luciana did Ray Jane's poem, before Mary stepped in to help, before Ron brought his backup, Generalissimo has sent me an email like, dude, I'm gonna give up my spot for this voice that we haven't heard before. Right? You there, Generalissimo?
I'm right here, Bubba.
All right, so I just want to let people know that
It's gonna blow your mind.
All right. So here we go. I'm gonna unmute him. Kingston Nolly. I hope I said that last name right.
Yeah, you did.
Awesome. Kingston Nolly. I heard that you were awesome. And I don't know if you know, but within like 8 minutes, all the spots for tonight's open mic closed up, right? So for Generalissimo, who likes to share his poetry, we like to hear him. For him to step aside is a big deal. So there's a lot of pressure on you, all right? Just want to let you know. No, I'm joking. Yep, I'm glad to hear you. Where are you located?
I'm in Chicago.
I am a huge Chicago Bears fan. I like you already. All right, cool. I'm gonna mute myself. Hey, we may make the playoffs. Don't give me that woof. We may make the playoffs, all right? We beat the Packers next week, them cheeseheads. All right. Go ahead, Kingston. The floor is yours.
Yeah, again, I want to thank Generalissimo. I also want to shout out Marissa. I found out about New Eurekan through her as well. And also shout out Mr. Speaker, because he does New Eurekan too. Okay, so I forgot that you guys do themes. So I was like, I gotta write a little something. So I have a little short poem about 2020. I am ending 2020 with the back of my mind, firing so many bullets of fear into my body that I cannot breathe correctly. I am rushing to get my thoughts to flow from my frontal lobe down my throat through my heart. I am trying to get my thoughts to linger around my lungs until they're ready to radiate through my bones. What has this year done to me? What do I think about 2020? 2020 was a broken plate, specifically a dessert plate that I placed on a mug that cradled a used tea bag that I wanted to steep one more time to try to get one more herbal embrace to relax my tense shoulders. Cold morning air seeping into my fingers, I fumbled a mason jar that collided with 2020, which slipped off the lip of the mug and shattered at my feet. After a pause, I picked up the jagged pieces of this year, carefully wrapped them in plastic bags and threw them away. 2020 didn't break me. I broke 2020. And I have one more. Okay. So this poem is like inspired by one of my favorite poets, Tonya Ingram. It's titled Red Solo Cup. I am a used bag of kava kava tea that has been sitting in a mug for 3 days, still fragrant, but mostly something to be disappointed about. I am a text message sent to people I haven't spoken to in 8 years. I am a discarded oriental rug resting on a trash can in an alley. I am a red Solo cup laying on its side. I am the rhythm of a downy woodpecker. I am a pink paisley tie underneath a navy sweater. I am the sentence that was applauded by one person in an audience of 300 hecklers. I am creativity bursting out of fresh neural connections between the frontal lobe and the amygdala. I am the highest peak in the world. I am steam rising from a mug of tea. I am sunlight soaking into your skin. I am too much for people when consumed in excess. Bipolar disorder is a mental disorder that causes unusual shifts in mood, energy, activity levels, concentration, and the ability to carry out day-to-day functions. Bipolar 1 disorder is defined by manic episodes that last at least 7 days, or by manic symptoms that are so severe the person needs immediate hospital care. Usually, depressive episodes occur, lasting at least 2 weeks. People with bipolar disorder experience periods of intense emotion, changes of sleep patterns, activity levels, and uncharacteristic behaviors. These periods are called mood episodes. Bipolar disorder usually requires lifelong treatment. Following a prescribed treatment plan can help people manage their symptoms and improve their quality of life. I am 23. Freshly out as a victim complex, I am a discarded rug, unable to do the simplest of things. I am a red reminder of risky behaviors such as excessive drinking. I am a hopeless cup of tea thinking about suicide. I am 24. I am the highest peak in the world. I am a pink paisley tie having trouble falling asleep. I am 300 hecklers talking too fast to be understood. I am hospital pants stained with blood down to the ankles, feeling like they have nothing to say. I am 26. I am a navy sweater liar. I am sunlight trying to do too many things at once. I am lies of nonsense in a journal once thought important and powerful, but actually unsalvageable. I am 27. I am a red Solo cup that has been crushed under the foot of a stranger that left me so close to a recycling bin that I can taste it. I can taste the opportunity to be transformed into something useful. I am 27. The day after forgetting to take my medication leaves me feeling the path of every vein in my dry eyes. I am not the depths of an ocean. I am a person. I want to be independent of my medication, to take but not be defined by the prescription. I am 27. Following a prescribed treatment plan can help me manage my symptoms and improve my quality of life. I am the person who slipped outside their apartment wearing sandals in 30-degree weather to pick up a crushed red Solo cup and slip it into a recycling bin before disappearing into the night. Thank you.
Unmute yourself and give it a
Yes.
Thanks, Kingston.
Nice.
So good.
Mm.
Such a good
What
read.
did
Such
I
a good word.
say?
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Very powerful.
Like Zion Williamson on the
Release Simone, he wants props. He's like, what did I say? Yes, Kingston, you have a bunch of new fans. Where can we find you online?
Y'all can find me on Facebook, Kingston Nolly. I am totally fine with you sending a request. I'm also on Instagram at kingston.nolly, and I'll put both of those in the chat.
Please do. Thank you. Kingston Dolly, like opened like the chest cavity and let the soul pour out in that poem. That was crazy. I was watching a bunch of other people. People like they didn't know how to digest it, and I loved it. They're like, "What?" Like, "Yup, yup." Welcome to the New York, Kingston. You're gonna have to come every week now. All right. Last but not least, because we actually are over time. Last but not least on the list is James Dean Rivera. Here we go. Let me unmute James.
Hello,
There we go.
everybody.
What's going on, man? How are you this evening?
I'm okay. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Ready to close out the night?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
Go ahead.
All right. So I would like to read y'all 2 poems from my book, Deep Thoughts. And you can kind of say they're kind of like 2020 theme, not per se, but let's give it a shot anyway. Here we go with Dear Surviving Worlds, the first one, and here we go. We will overcome this crisis. We will survive this with a strong immune system and faith. We will not let this see our fate. We will be allowed to travel and walk in parks again. The restrictions will be lifted by then. There will be no more social distancing. We can relive great moments that we've been missing. No more lockdown or quarantine. The regular way of life will be redeemed. You can once again walk amongst the crowds. Going to bars and restaurants will be allowed. Most people will still die after this is over. For most, it'll bring people closer and closer. For most, it'll take time to recover. But for many, a new life will be discovered. Dear surviving world, we got this. And that's Dear Surviving World. Now, the next poem I'd like to read to y'all is called Controlled Society. And here we go. We live in a controlled society. Who does it benefit? Neither you or me. We're trained to work like slaves day after day, work day after day till we're old and gray. They teach us to get good grades and get a good job with benefits, but most people will do it just for the hell of it. They say the best way to progress is to move up, get in a better position, become your own boss. But the problem is you're never your own boss. Most people don't realize that and they're so lost. The working life is not as glamorous as it seems. It's all just one big pyramid scheme. We step over people trying to reach the top, thinking we got this career unlocked, but you still have someone to answer to and you could still get fired. A job is a cutthroat business, no sympathy required. Having your own business is the best option. Soon the way we're trained will be forgotten. No more working for a boss, no one to answer to. Soon those days will be through. It's time to stop being a slave to a job or a career. Take the leap, take risks, face fears. No more corporate ladders to climb. It's time to take control of our lives. And that's controlled society, y'all.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for James Dean Rivera.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
That was so good. Thank you.
That's how you do it. That's how you close it out, man. That's how you close
really
it
like
out.
the read.
James Dean Rivera means what he says, man. You hear it in his voice. James, unmute yourself. Where can the people find you online, sir?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at James Dean Rivera, on Instagram on the Dean of Poetry, that's my tag name, on Twitter at James Dean Rivera, and my website, which is www.thedeanofpoetry.com, and my YouTube channel, also The Dean of Poetry. And this is my two books right here. This is Deep Thoughts, my second book I published, and I'm also the writer of Words from the Heart as well, both available on Amazon as well.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Make sure that you put that info into the chat too so that people can copy and paste.
Oh, yes, indeed, I will.
Thank you, James Dean Rivera. Dude knows a little bit about baseball too, right? We connected on Facebook. He knows a little bit about baseball too, man. Always appreciate a good baseball dude. All right, before we leave, real quick, I want to remind everyone about this Thursday because I keep getting messages, right? So on Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern, La Bruja and myself are going to be hosting our first ever the New Year's Eve online open mic. We got 35 slots. We're looking to get to everyone. People are going to be chosen in a random order. We're going to write names on pieces of paper, put it into like, I don't know, a container of some sort, choose out names that way. Poetry, comedy, singing, dance, and do whatever you want. On Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern is when the open mic list will open up. 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, it's going to open up. First 35 to sign up, that's it. That's the limit we have. And from those 35, we're going to be choosing people. 2-minute performance slots, because like I said, we really want to get as many people on as possible. Of course, if you want to follow me online, you can follow me at Advocate of Words. And when you spell words, that's with a Z at the end. You know, I'm from the Bronx, poetic license. I can do that sort of thing. So I look forward to Mondays because of y'all. I so appreciate you all. I have so appreciated you this year. For those of you who won't join us on Thursday, have a happy new year. Thank you so much for making not only Mondays tolerable, but this pandemic tolerable. I am in New York City and we keep getting shut down left and right, you know? So like, I really don't go out often. I'm not connecting with people, but I'm getting to connect with the out. And it's such a real way too, because you're talking about poetry, people are really opening up. So I appreciate I'm getting to connect with all of you and not your facades. But it is late. So with that being said, good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting in the spirit of Miguel Agarin into your home. I have been your host for the evening, Advocate of Words. I will see you next Monday. Next Monday is no theme if I don't see you on Thursday, and there's no theme on Thursday. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. See you soon.